Now, all of the great successful businessmen, billionaires, and successful people in every field know these principles subconsciously, and they practice them almost flawlessly in most areas of their lives. But there are very few that I've found that are self-conscious of these principles. For example, Elon Musk, he practices a lot of these principles, even discusses a lot of these principles. But from other discussions that I've heard from him, I don't think that he's self-conscious on these principles, especially the principle of least effort and indirect action and so on and so forth. There was one man, however, one of the richest men in Russia at one time, Boris Berezovsky, who I came to find was very self-conscious in these methodologies. See, Berezovsky, since I was a very young man, a teenager, I was always attracted to his energy because I thought that he was a man of great energy. I thought that he was a man of great thought. He was a mathematician who reinvented himself later in life during the fall of the Soviet Union and became one of the wealthiest men in Russia. I even managed to correspond with him one time when I was a teenager, and that we can save for another video. This is the month of his tragic death, and I think about over 10 years ago, probably 12 years ago, and we will make a more in-depth video on his life because he was amazing in that he knew these philosophies. I discovered a book of his that was translated into English probably about 3 years ago called How to Earn a Fortune. And in it, he lays down his primary method of creating wealth. And I just want to read it because it's incredible to hear this from one of the most successful men in history. He said, and I will quote here, I will read from the book, "The goal must always exist in your consciousness without at the same time coming to first plan. The best way is to guide it into your unconscious, to not think of it, but to vaguely feel it." And this is what we go into in this course and this channel. And I made a video about this just a few minutes ago about the indirect method, and we can apply it to everything. We apply it to business, we apply it to internal processes. He had this down. He said, "I will share my own method. I used to write a certain number, my stepping stone," which was in his methodology, and also what we teach here is that we start smaller. So in our imagination, we're not going to first imagine making $1 billion. Perhaps you want to first imagine manifesting $100 and then go from there. It's like working out. You start with the lighter weight. But sooner than you can expect, you will begin to go to the higher and higher levels with more frequency and with higher speed, with more velocity. And this is also a principle of physics that we'll discuss. So he says, "I wrote this, my stepping stone, on different pieces of paper, in organizers, on telephone receivers, in production meetings, in ministers' cabinets, and so on. Always the number without commentaries, without excessive explanations. I was teaching myself that this number is evident in the future, that it is mine." That's what we teach in this course, in this channel, that it is already mine. I just need to accustom myself to it. I need to dress myself in that feeling. "It is mine, it belongs to me by my birthright, that I must get used to it and not be surprised when it appears in my checkbook. This worked nearly every time. Additionally, when I was setting a number in the last stages of my business career, because he got better and better at this with time, at the last stages of my business career, I did not at all think where it would come from." That's what we teach in this course. That's what we teach on this channel. "That is, I ignored the placebo of feverish and hasty behaviors typical of businessmen. I simply knew that circumstances would come together in such a way that their irreversible movement would deliver to me exactly this number, and I would only need to accept it. You can take your own path. You can invent your own mnemonic device, but remember, the papers and the numbers do not work. The mind works, thought works, and everything else is placebo. If you mockingly try to test my method and with glee notice that it does not work, you will yourself program your failure, because it is, ladies and gentlemen, all according to your beliefs. The highest law is the law of your belief. If you believe that a certain methodology will not work, it will not work. If you believe that you have to work hard and then you will attain it, well, you will work hard and then you'll attain it. If you believe that you can attain something with ease, whatever you want with ease, you will attain it with ease. It is all about belief. I have already said that facts are pliant. The universe will deliver to you any quantity of facts confirming your theory of the world. The method can only begin working when you use it with faith in success and when you plan purchases with money that has not yet arrived. So you begin to act as if you have it because you know you have it, because it is within. When you build a cowshed for yet unborn cattle. This, my friends, is a man who knew both intuitively, viscerally, and philosophically the philosophy that we're teaching here and that we aspire to. Thank you so much, and we will be making more in-depth videos about this. Please continue watching, subscribe, and like. This is Javier Novoa, and I will see you soon.